Good morning. These are the Red Empress fry. They're about a month old now. Let me zoom in a little bit. They're about an inch long each, and we have 35 to 40 babies in here. They've been separated from their mother now. They're doing quite fine on their own. Usually with these fish, the mother usually just kind of spits them out and leaves them to their own devices. But I did leave her in the tank for some time, just to keep her separated from the male. So she didn't have any more babies right away and needed to get her fattened back up. And I don't think I'm actually ready for any more fish. I have over 130 now, and I'll be looking to sell or trade these when they get old enough to do so. So I'm going to drop a little food in here and see if these form up for me. I love to see them eat. They love to eat. Let's see what we can do here. You can see the difference in the sizes between some of them. Some of them are larger. Of course, that is going to happen. The smaller one usually are females, but that is yet to be determined. They're too young to sex right now, so that's something that will have to be determined in the future. So that's our babies. Happy, healthy babies, bunches. And that's the update on the Red Empress fry. See if I can get a little better picture of that. Quite a few up top eating. So they are eating flake food now. They were eating fry food, which is a very fine powder fry mix, which is specifically made to feed itty bitty mouths. And they have now progressed to the next level of food, which are flakes, but I crumble the flakes in there. I haven't lost any babies. I check every day to make sure that there's no loss of any of the fish in this tank. So they're doing quite well. And that's the update on them. This is the mid-size male Red Empress, which I removed from the large tank because his brother beat him up so badly and it took weeks for him to heal. He almost lost an eye. So I am keeping him separated. He's healed now and his fins are growing back. But when I removed the female from her baby tank, I brought her over here and she is down there. And she's very quiet, kind of shy. She doesn't have much color. And I'm hoping I'm wrong, but she could be mouth brooding right now. We'll find out in a week or so if that little jaw of hers starts puffing up. And I'll do an update to see at that time. So that's 2 of the African cichlids in a 30-gallon. And we have a few more. Here we have the 75-gallon American cichlid tank. There are really, there are 5 fish in here. One of them is the black convict male, the oldest male, who's the dad of all his babies. He will get to be at least twice the size he is now. He gets along just fine in there with all the fish. That is the false firemouth, probably the oldest fish that I have, and not finished growing yet. What you don't see in here are the clown loaches. They are very active at times, but right now seem to be hiding, which is not unusual. And then we have Peachy right here, who used to be the size of his tail, and that's how much he's grown since we got him. Let me see if we can get him to respond to some activity here. Yeah. He knows who feeds him. Every once in a while I put my hand in the tank. He doesn't mind being touched, but it's not always a good idea to do that, as it does remove their slime coat in the places you touch them, and they shouldn't even be touched unless your hands are wet already. Their slime coat is part of their immune system. He's a very interesting water puppy. So that's the 75-gallon American cichlid tank. And we'll be moving on. Look at him, he's a beauty. Fire mouse normally have a red chest and red around the mouth. They call this a false fire mouth because those colors do not exist on this fish. I'm actually wondering if they sold me a hybrid instead of a real fire mouse cichlid. Here we have American cichlids. Some of them are fry, some of them are adults. There is a pair of blood parrots, red blood parrots in here. They are hybrids. The rest of them are black convicts. One of the females in here is the mom of all the smaller ones that you see swimming in the tank. The adult male is in a different tank, not trying to have any more babies. There are approximately between 30 and 40 fish total in this tank. This is a 75-gallon. The blood parrots and the convicts get along just fine. Sometimes the convicts don't get along fine with each other, but that's just their personality of that particular fish. So as you can see, the smallest ones are the most recent hatchlings, and then the mid-sized ones are the first hatchlings. So there's 2 broods in here, and the mom and her sisters evidently. So yeah, that's the American cichlid tank. It's a 55-gallon, and I do have another American cichlid tank. The male convicts in this tank will be separated out when they get older and put into the other American cichlid tank. Not trying to have any more convicts. Possibly we will trade or sell some of them to lessen the population. We'll see how things go. That's the update on the 55-gallon American cichlid tank. This is our community tank. We have a pair of rainbows. These are the larger fish. 6 white skirt tetras, 7 coreodoras. They're at the bottom. There's a cute little catfish down there. And they've all just had a feed. And the rest of them are mollies. I say assorted mollies because there have been a few come through. And some of these babies are as a result of those few that have passed on and we don't have anymore. We have several different sizes of mollies right now. The largest of the females are the mothers of the smaller ones. And there are some that are quite small because they're babies. And they find places to hide in the tank for their own safety because their mothers and fathers will eat them. So they have places to hide like that floating grass and that one ornament right there, which has nice little crevices that the adults can't get into. So we do have a few little babies in there. There is about 40 fish total in this tank or so. Just a guesstimate. Probably the most active tank. There's the rainbow pair. They've made a show right out front. They're very shy, very docile fish. which helps them to fit in perfectly into this community tank. And sorry for the glare, because the glare of another tank is on the glass right now. And that's the update on the community tank. My favorite male is that black one right there. He's absolutely awesome when he puts up his fin. He is not an adult. Well, he is kind of an adult. He is a breeding age. But, yeah, he constantly chases the females around in here. Makes his presence known to all them. That's the update on the community tank. And this is the firefish. A little bit shy. We'll put some food in there. And some morning feeding. Funny about this fish, he doesn't seem to mind the cat here at all. The cat hangs out right there. There she is. She hangs out right there. And the fish doesn't mind her at all. But if I get up and walk over here, he usually hides. But he's doing quite well. Unfortunately, he beat up his brother so bad that he died. So I only have one of these. I used to have two of them. They're quite pretty fish. It's an African cichlid. And that's the update on him. He's by himself at the moment and won't be reintroduced to the large tank until the fry are old enough to put in the tank with the adults. It's going to be a while. I just don't want any more losses or fights or anything, so I'm keeping the males separated for now. There's only 2 males in the large tank. I will get to those on the next section. This is a hap. I've had him longer than the other African cichlids. He is the most personable, more interactive than the others. Very nice fish. Very peaceful for the most part. And there's the large Red Empress male, the one that's such a bully that caused me to have to remove the other fish from this 75-gallon tank. As I said, when the fry get old enough, he's displaying a little bit there. When the fry get old enough and grow out some, I will be adding them to this tank to increase the population and distribute aggression issues. Seems to work out with these fish. The more you have in there, the less fighting you have. So I'll be making that adjustment in the next couple of months as his babies grow large enough to add to this tank. That's pretty much it. That's the last of the tanks. 7 in total. A lot of work. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my fish.